My distinguished pleasure and honor to invite Her Excellency Chief Dr. Jewel Howard Taylor to do some goodwill message for us. She served with distinction as the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and having previously served also as the First Lady and Senator of Bong County. And she's a steadfast advocate for women's leadership, peace building, and inclusive governance. Through her distinguished career, she has championed the empowerment of women and girls, promoted democratic participation, and inspired a new generation of African women leaders. Please put your hand together for the Jewel of Liberia.
Good afternoon to everyone. Excellencies, our distinguished mothers, representatives from ECOWAS, the AU, UNDP, all in, honorable ministers, parliamentarians, our he for she champions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me this afternoon to be able to add my voice to this important discussion and to congratulate in a very warm way the organizations and the participants of the West African Women's Political Leadership Forum for this event. This event is timely as we gather today, or have over the last 2 days, under the theme, Accelerating Women's Political Participation and Leadership in West Africa. I believe our conversations move beyond commitment towards political reform to making strong decisions and changing the narrative. I'm proud to say that across our region, women continue to demonstrate extraordinary leadership in communities, in business, in civil society, and public service. Yet, despite decades of advocacy, our representation in elected offices where it actually counts continue to be far below what we expect. This is not because women lack competence or commitment. And I hear people say, women should get ready, women should be prepared. I have never heard them ask a man who's running for any elected office if he's prepared or if he's ready. As long as he's male, it doesn't matter. But then we always say the women should be ready, the women should be committed. Women are prepared from the time we are little girls. We are prepared to lead. We are prepared to create. We are prepared to drive the legacy of our families and our children. How then, when it comes to leadership at the national level, they always say, oh, the women are not prepared. Well, that's a conversation for debate. I believe we as women have a fault to play in that, when we raise our children to believe that boys have more leverage than girls, and that the girls should be the keeper of the homes while the boys should go out and make friends and play football and learn the games of politics. I pray that one day that will begin to change. Fortunately, as one who has walked this road from being First Lady to Senator to being the first female Vice President of my country and one of the very few female standard bearers of political parties in Liberia, I understand both the challenges and the opportunities that women encounter. I also know that anything is possible if you just believe it. Today, our responsibility at the end of this conference is to extend beyond just increasing the numbers of women. We must ensure that we are empowered to influence policy, like our mother, Madam Diop, said, to ensure we keep our government's feet to the fire to do what they have promised and signed to do, that we promote peace and democracy, and that we inspire the next generation of leaders. It may be easy when we meet the young generation to tell them how difficult this road is. It may be easy to tell them it can be done, but it's just too difficult. I remember sitting on a platform a few months ago, and I said, as we get involved in these processes, we walk on fire. And I saw the young women cringe. Do they want to walk on fire? No. They want to get involved in a process that they believe can make a difference in their lives. We must tell the good stories. We must tell the successful stories. We must tell them that it is possible. And I can tell you, regardless of how many thorns you step on, the view from the top is the most amazing one that you can ever imagine. But we cannot achieve sustainable peace or inclusive governance or meaningful transformation when half of our population remains behind. That's become an old record in an old story. I encourage this forum to go beyond where we are as we leave this meeting, to produce more women leaders, to produce measurable commitments, stronger partnerships. What boggles my mind is how can we make up 50% of the population and we are not able to elect women into offices that count? Yes, when you get appointed as a minister is important. If you get appointed as a judge is important. But what is most important is the presidency and members of parliament, because that is where the decisions are made. If we will rally together, put our resources, put our strategies together and decide that across Africa we elect 50% minimum women, it will be as easy as casting your ballot. That's where the work must be. How do we encourage each other to join hands and stop looking at what divides us and pull ourselves together to make a greater impact? Permit me to end by saying that the future of Africa's political leadership depends greatly on how we prepare, how we empower, but how we hold hands together and march towards making this happen. Justice Brumskin said it clearly. Liberia made a difference by women standing together and saying, enough is enough, the war must end. And the war actually ended. If women in politics and governance and businesses get together and say, no, we want more women, it will be as easy as a day. Can we do that? Can this be our commitment leaving here today? Remember that when women rule, when women are involved in the processes of governance and development of our nations, nations grow, they develop, and they get better. Thank you so much. Congratulations, and I wish you a successful day.